So the hand can be a little fancier, right? You can make these flowery movements where it comes together. So coming here, the fingers can come together, and then it can open from there. So then you're exercising the fingers, wrapping and rolling the fingertips. Yeah, from here. Wrapping and rolling the fingertips. And turning the waist, turn, turn, turn. So turning, turning, turning. So you can do it seated or standing. I'll just run through those first movements. If I'm standing, I want to turn all the way, shift all my weight. So I'll pick my foot up a little, and then set it down, and then shift. I turn all the way, letting my feet swivel. And if you don't turn all the way, again, don't worry about it. Right? Lift and drop things into place. Right? You want to relax. And we're always practicing Gung, right? Relaxing inside, letting everything go. Just sweeping back and forth. Okay, so again, it can come all the way up through the shoulder, and the underarm, or it can just go through the elbow and go back and forth. And always head suspended, feet relaxed and sinking, and sink the chi down. Remember today we're practicing sinking the breath down to your lower dantian. You sink the breath down. Relax the feet. Okay? And then switching. And starting off with just that wave. Letting the bottom hand teacup and drop. Then letting it cut across the body, right? Different heights. And then slowly descend teacups, massages, so I can catch the kidney. Okay, right here, you can catch the kidney, and then it can shoot up and double palm down. Right? So turning, bottom hand teacup, rubs the kidneys, then rises, and then double palm. Just let it drop and let it go. Oh, and all of this you can add vibrating palm. That was one of the other, we're having this discussion about the fingers vibrating. So teach your palm and teach your fingers how to vibrate and wiggle. And eventually it'll just start happening by itself. As the chi starts rolling through your body, it'll start happening. And when I pick my hand up, there's times where they're not physically connected, but there's times where everything is so close to each other. As my hand rises, my top hand just falls on it, and there's a light connection. So either way is okay. Yeah, sometimes it's so tight they actually touch lightly. Right here, they might touch lightly, just lightly, rubbing against each other, and that's fine, and that's good. Sometimes you have that connection; it just falls and turns. So turning, right? Just lightly falls and rubs and connects. Okay? So it's not it has to touch or it has to not touch. It just depends. I know what you're doing and how you're changing the form. Yeah. Rising and down. And loosen the waist, right? So you can turn. So actually I'm turning, 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 and turning, right? So there's that big turn and twist, even if you don't see it. Right? So if I make it large, right? I'm turning, and then I'm turning my waist, and then I'm turning my waist, and I'm turning my waist, and I'm turning my waist. So the body is, yeah, there's that hula inside. I told you, right? There's hula in here. So and then don't forget, this hand can actually come down if you want it to come down and massage the piriformis. So you could just gently drop and rub and then rise. So you can see there's so much variation in here. Okay? So that was the second part. And then the third part where we're looking at now, it is everything becomes progressively a little bit more difficult. It involves all right, so we're doing the silk reeling, right? And you can do it seated or standing. And make sure your shoulders are relaxed, head is upright, all the same form, all the same principles apply. Okay? So back and forth, and then that switches to that wave, first just cutting across the lower belly. And you can start off just below the belly button, and then you can be higher and higher. And the bottom hand is really giving you a nice massage. Okay? And then the bottom hand can then start teacupping and giving that kidney massage, and then coming up. You can teacup and then come up, and then you can give that double hand slap. And the bottom, right, the bottom hand can also go all the way down, right in the piriformis. Just massage the glutes, right here, right over here. Here, come. If Bon turns around, right? So this is her hip. So right on your hip bone, if you run your finger below that, you can feel the muscle right under your hip bone. Right under the hip bone on two sides are considered trigger points. And the trigger points, if you gently press them, if you have a tight back, really tight, a lot of times you press right around here, and you'll feel right over here releasing. So if this hand is, right, if she's teacupping, and then she's just rubbing that down, the inside of her thumb, massaging here, you're actually stimulating and helping to release tension in your lower back. Okay? So you take these basic movements and then modify them to how they best work for you. Yeah, and just taking your time and gently pressing them, and over time it can give you that release. Okay, thanks. Okay. So it can go down, and in the original form I learned, it actually went all the way down the ITB band and rubbed all over here and dropped down, and then it comes up. So it can be a really large movement and cover a lot of areas, but you pick where you want. And if you, like I said, if you study chakras and you study acupuncture points in the body, you can say, hey, let me massage that part of my body gently, always gently, gentle intent. Okay? And I think I mentioned this just so we don't forget, and we have it cataloged here. In that first shooting palm movement, sometimes you can sit back while you're turning. Right, so here, instead of just turning, I'll sit back while I'm turning. There's a little bit more conscious effort to sit back. And when you're drawing back, that stimulates the lymphatic system a little bit more. So you have a little bit more of that pumping action going in your body. And I know in the past we've talked about letting this hand come up in the front and massaging from there. Okay. Right. So we've moved on. The third part, and that's what we're going to talk about just when the power cut off, is this lifting and rising and turning. So it's shifting to one leg, so the posture and the balance, right? Very gentle, washing the outside, and the hand and the leg rise together, right? They rise together, and I'm sinking, I'm turning, and I turn my waist without stepping, right? Everything just turns. Then I step down, drop the shoulder, drop the elbows, and let a double palm. And you can do it two ways. And what I mean by that is, if I take a bigger step just to show you what I mean, you could shift your weight, right, and pick up the back leg, so all the weight shifts here. Or when you step down from here, keep the weight here. So just to show that, right, all the weight would stay on one leg, and then it would come back up and then step down. So again, right, depending on what you want and what you want to achieve and what you want to practice, you can change, but be conscious of what you're doing, right? Don't just do it. And so if I said, oh, where are you shifting your weight? You should be able to say, oh, I'm practicing keeping my weight on one leg during the whole time, or I'm practicing stepping and then walking in place. So sometimes I do it like that, right? I come out and then I'll walk in place, force myself to shift my weight, and then I'm shifting back, walking in place, right? I can walk in place while I do the movement. Right? Or I can make it a lot more quiet, right? Keeping the weight all in one leg, even though the steps down. So that's right here. I don't change the center of balance. I want to keep the center of balance right on that standing leg during that whole movement, and then shift. So either way is okay. What's important is that you're aware of what you're doing. Okay? All right. So when we look at the movement, this hand is washing the outside. So again, center of the palm is your heart. Washing the outside, the triple burner channel. It can come to about your forehead and turn and come out, or you could let it circle so that the center goes right over the crown. And remember, it's not the center of your head, it's a little bit back, right? So it could come right over here, and then while I'm turning, as I'm turning and twisting my spine, my palm is also turning a little bit, like I'm dialing my body. And then the shoulder blade drops, elbow drops, and then comes up. And then it could come right over the center and then turn back and then switch. Right? So it could be right over the center and then down. Okay. The head, now honestly, when I first learned this, he was actually looking up at the hand, and that really throws your center of balance out. So to be able to look up at your hand, you have to work so hard, right? It's forcing you to develop that center of balance. So that's not necessary for us right now, because if you try and start like this, you better have a lot of cushions around you, right? Because your head will be tilting. So that's not necessary. What you can do is just look up a little bit, not more than 45 if you want, and just turn, and that's enough, right? So if you want to keep your hand just in front of your forehead, that's enough, right? If you feel like you can start going a little bit more, that's fine. But number one rule is what? Safety, comfort, right? So you can build up to do a little bit more. Also for us, right? We don't look more than 45 degrees up, because as we age, we might remember the back of our neck, our bones, our joints get a little bit more brittle, right? A little stiffer. So it's when you look at the health organizations, they do not recommend looking more than 45 degrees. So in the program, in Tai Chi for Health program, we don't promote looking more than 45 degrees. Now, all of you know yourself. So some of you are that flexible. So know what you can do comfortably, okay? But be aware of that there, okay? So do it within your range. Main thing, you shift your weight, practice your balance, and practice turning right from the center, just stepping down. If you can turn more, that's fine, but be aware, are you twisting your knee? Don't let your knee twist out too much. Okay, so anywhere between 0 to 45 is probably safe. Okay, so rising, shoulders down, turning, stepping straight down. Your weight can stay here, or you can transfer and pick up. Okay, that's an optional move. Just take your time, let all your joints sit. Release all that pressure. The knees should bend a little bit. You don't have to go way down. And you want the thighs to do the work. You don't want your knees to hurt. You just carefully take your time, relaxing. Still sinking the air, sinking the chi down to your lower belly. Coordinating the movement. Turning. Right, so everything turns together. So turning, stepping, and dropping, sinking. Yeah, letting go, and then resetting. Feel the palm washing the outside of the arm. Relax and expand. You can force your palms and fingertips to vibrate a little. Just let it wiggle gently. Sometimes you forget about it, then you realize, wow, they're just wiggling by themselves. Then you think about it and it stops, and then you think about it and it starts. Okay. So again, you can shift like this. You shift, let everything go. See how my shoulders drop? Okay. So it's a constant awareness to let things go and be relaxed. Release the hips, release the pelvic joints so your body can turn. Release the breath. Remember, sinking the air down. Right here as you're breathing in, sink the air down to your lower belly. Practice turning on one leg gently. Let everything sink. Finish the movement. Make your corrections and then move again. Drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders, drop your elbows, drop your arm low. Yeah, almost the height of my waist. I can drop my palms almost the height of my waist. And that will really help me to release the tension. So you could actually say put markers on the ground, one for each foot, and then practice stepping on those markers. So if you're doing it the way I'm doing now, where I'm stepping, I'm constantly walking in place and shifting, and I'm shifting. Rising together. And again, same thing, the palms can gently touch. Oh, I got out of sequence, sorry. I'm doing too many things. Yeah, turning. Yeah, but let everything go. Yeah, drop your shoulder. Yeah, so make sure the arm drops. Not just the wrist and palm, but make sure right here the arm drops. Yeah, so you let everything go. Release that tension. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. When you come here, be careful you're not pulling your arms back. Right? Just let them fall in front. If the body only turns 10 degrees, then the palms should be facing only 10 degrees. Just working on balance, center balance, relaxing, sinking the air down to your dantian. My palms are open. My fingertips are a little stretched. My spine has to be loose but expanded. And thinking about the movement. Trying to let everything follow my thought. Leading with the E. My standing leg, I want my foot relaxed and sinking into the earth. The leg is relaxed, and by being relaxed, it's naturally heavy. So my standing leg, I want it sinking. I don't want my toes and my foot grabbing the ground. I just want it sinking and spreading out, relaxed. So I'm feeling a lot of tension in my left shoulder, which means I'm pulling it back too much. So I have to let my left shoulder, my left arm follow my body, right, and not turn any more than that. Okay, so this is the third section. Okay. So if you want, you can do it from the chair. Same thing. Watching Bond. So you can either have your feet sinking, right, and just rising, and just focus on turning your waist. The nice thing about doing it in the chair is you can just focus on the form of the upper body and just letting the legs sink. Right? One less thing to have to correct. And then when you do standing, right, your upper body has had a chance to correct itself and be a little bit more relaxed. I'm still aware of my lower body's form and the legs sinking into the earth. I still have to turn my waist, relax the pelvic joint. Oh, and because you're sitting, right, if you wanted to practice looking up at your palm, you could. I'm not as worried about losing my balance because I'm on the chair, but I can still feel how looking up, how much it changes the center of balance. So I have to make that adjustment. So doing it seated, doing it standing, they both have their advantages. Okay. So the rising and dropping, and this is teaching that drilling. So as you rise, you want to turn the waist as the palm comes up. Relax the pelvic joint, turn the waist, sink the chi down as you're doing this. As you breathe in, sink the air down to your lower belly. Hold everything down here and then just release. Sink the air down to your lower belly and down. Yeah. So turning your waist. And with the movement, it comes with the movement. Just swiveling, turning, relaxing. Right here, drop the shoulder. Yeah, it's getting tight here because I'm pulling this back too much. I want to keep my shoulder down and elbow, and that's all it is. Okay. All right, so that's the third movement. Right, so again, 1, and then 2, and all the variations of this. It can be simple or it can be including everything, right? And then 3. Yeah. Okay. And at any point from here, you can just go right back into the shooting palm. Yeah, just go right back into the shooting palm. So let's just end right there. We won't test fate and Hawaiian Electric Light Company's power supply today. The only thing that didn't turn off was my laptop because it has its own battery, but I don't have battery backup for my router, and yeah, it's like, oh, if this was a business, I'd have router, cable modem, everything on a battery backup, right? And then a small little glitch like that wouldn't matter. But oh, thank you for sticking around with me and surviving through that. There.
Thank you.
All right, let's warm down and let's end with bell meditation. I didn't do the bell today. So again, bell meditation, right? Learn to pick where you want. Hands here gently, hands here, palms up, palms down. Really experiment with which one, and you'll find, I mean, the hands can even be just kind of in front like this, but really relax, just gently holding. And if I do this posture, or if I do this mudra, it really reminds me to open my heart, project, put that little sun in my chest, smile, yeah, because I'm emphasizing heart over here. Okay? So whatever posture you choose with your hands, relax the legs, just let the feet rest gently on the ground. Check your jaw, check your chin, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm finding I close my mouth and I don't realize that there's tension. So I'm learning to relax my mouth, let that tension go. Okay. Gently close your eyes. Keep sinking your breath down to your tantin as you breathe. And we'll do the bell meditation. You slowly open your eyes when you're ready. Start rubbing your hands together. Okay, so don't remember, everything can be Qigong. You just have to remind yourself to coordinate everything. And the coordination starts with your thinking, the intent, the mind. Let the Qi follow. Just feel that energy move, and then let your body physically follow that feeling. Okay? And then it's all Qigong with coordinating your breath and your movement. Yeah? Warm up your eyes and Gently tap and brush your scalp with your fingertips, center to outside, front to back. Gently pull on your ears, yeah, just unrolling, going up and working your way down. Yeah. Tap the back. Just your fingertips, relax your arms so the weight of your arms transfer to your fingertips. Just help you pull that muscle away from your spine. If you try and lift your arms and you press, so you're going to hurt, just hang your arms down and just let the weight transfer to your fingertips. Yeah. Okay, we survived the great brownout of November. All right, right hand, left hand. So go ahead, turn your you can turn your microphones on for a little while.